All right. Hello, world, and welcome back. Today, I am disclosing everything that I do in my business without Redact, which means all the steps that I took in my business. I took screenshots of the windows that I opened up in order to make sure that my business was compliant with all rules and regulations. Last week, I spoke about my phone bill. So, the phone bill that I use for my business is this one, and this is visible. There is a link in the description of last week's video that will give you a discount because why not? All the money that you can save will add up to equal more money that you will have in order to produce goods or services in your business. Now, this phone plan is not strictly for business. You can also use this for your own personal use. The There is a variety of plans that are available. As far as I can tell, they are all unlimited. The only difference is the two new tiers come with unlimited ultra wideband, and that just means that the internet is just a little bit faster. But from what I can tell, they all function the same, where you can connect and enjoy the internet unlimitedly. The main reason I chose this plan is because I have a Apple Vision Pro, and it requires me to be connected to the internet in order to pull information in or send information out. There this All of these plans come with unlimited hotspot. So what that means is I can turn my phone into a hotspot. Now I do have Wi-Fi at home, but the thing about it is that whenever I connect to my home Wi-Fi, all the other devices in the home are talking to the router, and so the router has to take turns to make sure that the traffic is moving consistently. So it'll take turns, this one here, this one here, this one here, but it's doing it pretty quick. So it is pretty nice, but I do like connecting to my own personal hotspot because I know there's less traffic and I'm able to produce these videos in 4K without missing a beat. So this is the phone plan that we spoke about last week, and there is a description in the bottom of last week's video, which will give you an additional saving. So even if you are using this for personal or for business, that discount will still add up to save you money over time as opposed to spending more for the same thing. So if you would like to check them out, that link will be in last week's video, and this video is not specifically sponsored by them, but I just wanted to share everything that I was doing. And this week we are talking, seeing as we're talking about phone bills, and the week before that we were talking about credit cards, and the week before that we were talking about bank accounts. So the reason I chose this bank account is because I had a lot of other services, and they charged me a lot of money to just store my money there and ensure that I can have access to it, and forms and all these other things that it would help me to do, like paying myself. So you have to pay a payroll company, and then you have to pay all of these software fees and license fee. You also have to pay for everything. You also have to pay for insurance, and you have to pay for unemployment. And with this, I don't have to worry about that because the way I've set my business up is I I have a customer who pays for 6 different taxes, and I'm only obligated to pay for one. I did double check. I did have the Department of Revenue send me specifically what I am obligated to pay, and there was only one because of the way I set my business up. So, I mean, yes, it's great to be able to pay into the tax system and help the economy out, but I would much rather help myself out so that way I can help the economy, if that makes sense. So, this week we are talking about the savings account that I recommend. Now, the reason I recommend this one is because I have Wells Fargo as my main bank, and just to have my money sit in there, I get nothing. So the money will just sit there and nothing will happen. But with a savings account like this one, you are able to go on over, sign up, put all your information in. They have personal and business, and you're able to open up an account and store your money there. So now, right here where it says personal savings calculator, that is showing you the APY for the year, what your annual percentage yield would be have if you were to leave a certain amount of money there. So let's say you open the account and you put $1,000 in. At the end of the year, you would have received an additional $42. Now, the national average is 0.41 according to this, and they would typically pay you $4.10. But to be honest with you, I have never seen any funds added to my account, and I've been with Wells Fargo for over 10 years. So my money sits there, I have access to it, but it doesn't grow. Now, the reason why an account like this would possibly be able to do something like this is because they want to incentivize more people to come on in. So these rates might change, but as of the recording of this video, you can start a personal account or a business account, put your money in, and get paid to have your money sit. So now let's say I was to put $10,000 in here as just a startup fund while I get my business situated and I get myself together and I start producing content. What would happen is if that money was to stay there untouched at the end of the year, I would have gotten, I believe, $420 if I'm doing those calculations right. But think about it. Who is going to say, hey, put your money here and here's free money? Nobody. So with a credit card like I have here, this one has no annual fee, which means I have the card and I don't have to worry about paying a fee in order to maintain the card. But the reason I went with this one is because I have previous history with them and they approved me quick. So I was able to grab the card and start putting all my bills here, and I get 1% here. So for everything that I purchase, 1% back. Now for here, just to have the money sit, that is 4%. So if I have the money sit in here and then it moves from here to here, I am receiving over 5% just to have my money. And whenever I get paid and it gets deposited into the savings account, let's say I would like to put 30% of my income aside for taxes, which doesn't apply to me because right now the tax rate is 21% for the type of business that I have open. And I just received news that the new percentage rate will be 15% for me. So, of all the money I make, the only tax obligation I will have will be 15%. Now, everybody's business is set up differently, and the only way to lock in these kind of rates is to do it when you're first setting your business up. Once you've already established your business, you've already told everyone involved how you're going to operate your business, and it makes it a little bit more difficult at that point to make any kind of changes because you've already have your business set up the way you plan to operate it. And so I do not recommend anyone to just jump off and decide to start doing kung fu by themselves because I don't want you to hurt yourself and then say, oh, a YouTuber, I saw him doing kung fu and, you know, it looked real easy. So I went ahead and wanted to give it a try. Well, you're more than welcome to do that. My first two videos are the basic instructions on what you need to open every business. You need to register with your state and then with the IRS. After that, you're official. Anything after that is completely up to you, except for paying your taxes. Your taxes need to be paid. But on that note, I am trying to keep my videos short and spicy. So if you or someone you know has a business or would like to have a business, because right now the economy is getting kind of tight, I'm not gonna lie, there's some changes happening in the world. And what I realized a long time ago is that by investing in other business, I allow those business to flourish. But by investing into myself, I am able to produce for myself and take care of myself, which then allows me to take care of other business. But if I was to just work strictly for someone else, my my income is dependent on whether they want to downsize this quarter or whether they just want to do some layoffs in order to change the business operation. It's just a scary world out there. And I personally would like to take control over my life so that way I can make the best decision for me and for my family. I love supporting everyone, but I don't want to wake up and be a part of the news where thousands of people are getting laid off because of economical shift. I have no intention of laying myself off. If something happens, I'll just adjust the same way every other business adjusts. But from the stats that were shown to me, most business fail within their first year. And the reason for that is because you're trying to do kung fu and there is a technique to everything that is happening. Now, I am briefly going over what I did in my business, but the technique is completely different for each business. And that is why I went to college to get my bachelor's degree. And I could keep pursuing to get a higher degree, but what I've noticed, I started to do the research. It is essentially the same thing, but just more work time obligated to ensure that you grasp the knowledge. And I assure you, I have grasped the knowledge. I have helped other people to start up their business. Their business is functioning. They don't even have to file their own taxes because I have a technique in place where their taxes are taken care of automatically. There's a lot of back end paperwork that needs to move. All of that is taken care of automatically. And so, if you would like to receive help in in establishing your business or just need someone to talk to about the way you're currently running your business, we can talk and see if we can optimize your business to be more successful for you. There are links in the description below of how we can meet, and This will allow us to be able to talk, whether that's privately or in a group setting, and we'll be able to optimize your vision of the world so that you can succeed. And on that note, I am going to be ending the video here, and I would like to thank everyone for coming out, watching. I want to thank all my subscribers, and I would like to ask for a huge favor. And that favor is to please subscribe and like the video. It means a lot to me on this journey. I am sharing all of this information for free that I spent a lot of time and a lot of money, and I've made a lot of mistakes. I was not perfect, but I learned from my mistakes and I've made better decisions, and I am bringing the results of my decisions here to the platform. So please subscribe so that you can stay up to date with everything that's happening. And on that note, I would like to remind everyone of the simple features that everyone has access to, and that is the ability to go outside, touch the ground, look at the sky, and stay hydrated. There is a lot of people on the planet with us right now that cannot enjoy those, and I am very appreciative that I have the ability to enjoy those and more. And that is all because of your support. So thank you all. And until next time, please stay safe, and I'll be seeing you soon. Bye.